Hey, welcome to another painting demonstration. I don't want to call it a tutorial because I don't know that I'm a very good teacher, but I'm just going to show you what I do and just kind of hang out with you. So today I want to do a painting on that canvas right there. That canvas is 18 inches by 24 inches. It's not gigantic, but it's pretty big for me. 18 by 24. And the painting I want to do is from Silver Glen Springs here in Ocala, in the Ocala National Forest. Robin and I went there maybe during the summer, and it was a new place for us. We had never been there before, although we had been to Salt Springs, which is very, very close to there. So I want to show you the reference photo that I got, and it's this right here. Can you see it? Now my challenge is going to be the color of the water. It's a very beautiful blue-green, and if you look at it, it's not one single color that makes it have that look. It's a gradual change in the blue-green to the light blue-green to the greener blue to the bluer green, and so we're going to try to do that. I'm going to try to do that. I say we. I know it's singular. I'm the only one here. But so let me aim this here at the canvas, and I've already set up my palette. You see the palette? It's a little different than I normally do because I really wanted to make sure I had a bunch of the colors. So this is white, and this is gesso. That's not paint, that's gesso. Well, that's paint, but it's not paint, whatever. That's the orange. The orange and the gesso are going to go on first as the underpainting. Now all of these colors, I'm hoping, will help me work a color that looks like the color of the water. So I have ultramarine blue as one of the colors. I have primary yellow as another one of the colors. The white that I'm using, well, I don't know where the tube is, but it's titanium white. That green right there is this green. It's called, I guess it's called olive green. I'm not really sure what it's called. This blue right here, that blue right there, that's this little tube. That's cerulean blue. I gotta read it because I don't know these off the top of my head. And then this one, this blue over here, is light blue violet. See if that works. And the challenge is really to get that color of the water. And then this one is primary cyan, which I would call blue. So, alright, so first thing is to take my house brush. I want to do it really thin so it dries really quickly. Let me get back to the canvas. I'm just going to try to do a very light coat of gesso and orange. I'm not going to really worry about the different graduals. I'm just going to put it very light. I'm going to spread it thin so that it gives me an orange background. I just think orange helps blues pop out better, so that's why I'm using orange. Plus it reminds me of sherbet. Sherbet. You know what I learned recently is sherbet doesn't have an R in it. Well, it's S-H-E-R-B-E-T. Sherbet. It's not S-H-E-R-B-E-R-T, which is what I thought all my life. I spelled it wrong all my life. And Robin's son pointed it out to me one time that there's no R in there. It's not sherbet. And I thought, wow, I never knew that. All these years. Anyway, yeah, orange sherbet, whatever, and vanilla ice cream, they go good together, right? Alright, so you see what I'm doing. I'm really making it thin because I want this to dry right away because I'm kind of anxious to get started with this painting. So I'm just kind of getting every area. And the interesting thing about the picture I'm using is that the sky is also blue in the paint in the reference photo. but it's a completely different blue than the water. So, and it's a relatively easy painting to do. I mean, as far as the subject, it's got, you know, trees and a fence and the water and the reflections on the water. So it's a pretty easy one. And like I say, I think the most challenging thing about this one is going to be the color, the blue color that I want to be as accurate as possible. I will tell you this, if you're not familiar with any waterways that have that blue-green water, it is truly blue-green. It is not like a filter on a camera or some kind of trick. It really is that blue in person. So, all right, so I have a purely orange board here. It's spread really thin so that we can let it dry very quickly. I'll turn off the camera now and I'll come back when I start to paint. Deal? Deal. Okay, it's dry now and we can start painting on it. And again, the big challenge is going to be the color of the water, the blue-green color that is right there. And so the composition is pretty simple. The composition is about this much of it is above the water line, like right here. I guess about halfway is the beginning of the water line. The bottom of the water line is about half of this, so it's like 1/4 is the foreground, 1/4 is the water, and the rest of it is the trees and the sky. So let's try and get that color first. That's going to be the challenge. So as you know, I already have the palette ready with the colors on it, and they're just waiting to be used. So let's go ahead and give it a shot. We'll see what happens, see what we come up with. I got a medium-sized brush, get a little bit wet, and I'm just going to start adding it to it. So we want to go from here to here for the ground, here to here for the water. Okay, now clearly that's not the right color. So I like to mix it on the board itself. So there's a little bit, that's a blue-green, yes it is. However, it's not very bright colored. So let's add a little bit of yellow to it, make it a little bit more green, I think. I'm just going to keep working it until I get it. I'm going to add some white to it. See what I need to do. And I think the trick is going to be to make it multicolored, so it's not all one color. Okay, now we'll let that dry and we'll go to the next part. Okay, so the part we painted for the river is not dry yet, but it's drier. And I'm mostly going to concern myself with the sky right now. The sky is about this whole area right here is the sky, and it's a different blue, as you can see in the reference photo. But as long as I can paint there, there's nothing to worry about right there. There's nothing wet. So I'm going to paint, and I still have plenty of blue left on my palette, so I'll just begin. I think we got the sky now. So we got the sky and the water, and we got to get the foreground and the trees. I'll come back in the next part. Okay, so there are two sections of the background trees. There is this section here, which is further distant away. And then there's this part here, which is still in the back, but it's a little bit closer. So this is the one I want to use a little bit of that gray mixed in with the white, mixed in with the Payne's gray. So I'm using like the three colors, the white, the Payne's gray, and this blue gray. And I'm making a hazy kind of a color just to kind of brush in these background trees here. Just a little bit, maybe a little bit darker than that, just to make it, just to get those background trees in there that are a distance away. All right, now let's start the other trees, the closer trees, which are right here, and then we'll do the foreground here with the sandy, grassy, and there's a little fence right there too. I'm not sure I'll do it all in one swoop, but here we go. I think I'll just start out with some Payne's gray on the bottom, where the dark areas are by the bottom of the trees. Okay, so now we have the underpainting, well, the overpainting of the underpainting. So now on top of this goes pretty much the details. So let's just kind of look at, see where we are, and then we'll take it a moment, let it dry, and then we'll come back. Okay, so that's what we have so far, and I mean, you can tell it is what it's going to be. There's no foreground trees yet, and a lot of things need to be fixed, but in general, we have the rough, loosely laid out foreground here, and the very rough fence, which we still need to do some details on that. The water looks pretty good, I think. The sky looks pretty good. The trees in the background look pretty good. And now let it dry a little bit, and we'll come back and do some of these trees that are in the foreground, these big old oak trees. Now we get to do the fun part. Now we get to put the tree in the picture. And it's a big old oak tree, and it has no real defined, I mean, it is defined, but it doesn't matter if we mess up on it, because you can see it just goes everywhere. It goes left and right and up and down. It's got all kinds of limbs and Spanish moss and everything else. And so I'm basically going to just paint the whole, everything, the first part anyway, with Payne's gray. So let's just start with that. And here we go. I'm going to, even though the actual tree is on the other side of the fence, I'm going to bring it to this side of the fence. I just think it's a better composition. And I drag it up here and go over here, paint right over what I've already painted, and just go this way, and it just goes all the way over here. And it looks like a mess. It always looks like a mess. All the paintings look like a mess until they come together. Well, the battery ran out on the camera, so I finished it. Wasn't much more to do anyway. So let me show you the final picture. And there it is, Silver Glen Springs. That's what I'm calling it, I guess. All right, thanks for watching. Hope you like the painting. Subscribe, like, and see you later. Bye.